So I just finished my unboxing of my Kinleigh's Doodles, which is why this looks like a mess. So I'm going to quick organize it so I can get right to work. So before I get started, what I like to do is go and look through the pile of things that I've already taken out of my planner. I've not added any more inserts or anything of that nature, so the numbers that I need are not different. And so I like to make sure that I'm not over creating or under creating. And I think that's the key to time management, at least for me. And so I'm going to take my brand new sticky notes and a pen, and I'm going to go through and figure out how many dashboards I need. So I need 2 dashboards. Next, I'm going to need 3 paper covers, at least. And then I'm pretty sure that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 acetates or vellum. All right, now that I've got my sticky note, I can head that to the side, and I'm going to get started. So, of course, those cardstock papers are folded in half when they are shipped to you, but all I needed to do was trim off a little bit off the side and the bottom, and they're ready to go. I then took one of the papers, and that's how I'm going to be describing the papers and the cardstock throughout this video. I took the papers that were free and included in the kit, and I just cut a little strip off and wrapped it around to the back side, and then I tucked those die cuts in the top of that, and so it kind of looks like a faux pocket. I loved the argyle, so what I did was I just trimmed the paper just to have that little red accent of argyle and just glued it with my glue stick. If you're new to my channel, I always use glue sticks. Number one, it's super inexpensive, and I love the fact that I can get the back of things nice and glued up, and then I can adjust it while on the piece, and everything is fine. And then I added a pocket on the bottom, and of course I needed just a little bit of accent on the top to round things out. Then I had that argyle extra part I thought would work well on the back side of this insert cover, and then of course found some more scrap pieces of paper on the side, and I just added that to wrap around to accent that joy on the paper. Then after I did some trimming, I went ahead and picked up another piece of cardstock, again flipping that extra page over so that argyle jagged edge would be kind of like a zigzag, and then I just trimmed it off the edge. And of course the papers need to be just trimmed just a smidge on the edge and on the bottom. I always use packaging. I think it's the best thing to have that's absolutely free. It's included in your kit, and I think it's a great addition to any sort of planner layout. So I loved the fact that this was the jagged edges. I adore the red truck with the tree on the back end, and I'm assuming that is a dashboard for our personal rings, and that's what I'm assuming it's for, but I wanted to add it to an insert cover, but not permanently. So what I did was I cut out some right triangles to mimic like photo corners for this holiday cheer dashboard, and so after the season is done, I can definitely reuse it for next year since it's so gorgeous. I did want to use a little piece of scrap paper, so that's how I do my glue stick to want it in specific spots. I just did it along the edge using a scrap piece of paper. Then I just used a 1/8 hole punch, and I punched in the front of the insert only at every 1-inch interval all the way down. And then I just found some yellow twine I had hanging out in my craft room, and I wanted to add some texture, so I just wove it in and out of those holes, culminating in a bow at the bottom. Not only does it add texture to my planner, it also makes some movement when I have some of that dangles hanging out when I'm working in my planner. Of course, I just can't be finished doing some decoration, so I used one of those die cuts with the buckets, and then I added the 3x4 journal card with the glitter on it that says Happy Holidays right in the middle. And then to add some balance, I used some of the washi strips to go up on top of the page, and then one of those great tabs that I love. And I used some of that extra paper, and I cut out a little poinsettia to actually meld the two together. And then I went and I pulled some gold letter alpha stickers and just did XOXO in an alternating form, so to add some interest there as well. Now that I counted the right amount of insert covers, now it's time to work on my dashboards. So I took this journal card, then I just trimmed off about 3/4 of an inch on either side and mounted it on some cardstock, and that's it for that one. And then I flipped it over and was auditioning some other journal cards and packaging, and of course Snowball's 50 cents won out, just its simplicity and the glitter. And then I loved the adhesive pockets, but I couldn't put it on top of there. So I was just auditioning it right there so I can attach it on top of the plastic sleeve. Now look, I love packaging and it's just the right amount of size, but I didn't care for the branding. No offense, Hannah. I just wanted to cover it up with some fabric from some scraps so then I could add the faux washi tape. So all I did was flipped it over and I noticed it was white and I needed to have a double-sided one. So instead of making a whole new insert cover, what I just is sprayed the entire thing with Super 77, and that's a spray adhesive. And all I did was take all of those paper scraps that I had lying around on the side of my workspace, and I just lined them up into a diagonal and made my own faux washi strip dashboard. After trimming, I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. I really didn't want to cover up all that hard work I did. So then I came up with the concept of making it look like a present. So I took just a little bit of the packaging and I just added it around the top and on the sides, and it didn't have to connect in the middle because I knew I was going to use that bow die cut. And I think it turned out pretty special myself. Now that I finished with a majority of the design work, now it was time for me to just fold and cut all of those acetates and vellum. I normally don't decorate them on top of them because I don't like what it feels like when you turn it, for one thing. If I had a bunch of weight on a light piece of paper, it just doesn't feel right in my planner. And plus, I want them to stand out on their own. They're so lovely and gorgeous, just the way they were designed. I have to just leave them regular. So I wanted to come up with a bookmark that I can go from day to day with. So I just took a piece of white cardstock so that vellum and acetate cuts that were just left over lying around could go on top of and I could still see through. So all I did was just use some of that spray adhesive one more time and just slapped them vertically onto there. And then of course I added one of those adhesive pockets on the bottom and of course one of the tabs on the top. It's a great place to put my stickers. The back side was pretty plain, so all I did was use some of the paper and I just adhered it to the back. Now the fun thing about the back side is that I was able to make some sticky note pockets. All I did was take, again, another couple pieces of scrap paper, made some marks, and just glued it on all three sides to make sure that I could use sticky notes on the back. And then all I did was just divide that sticky note packet in half, split it between the two pockets, and voila, I always have a place for sticky notes where they're so cute. Why wouldn't I want to use them? Well, I just finished all of my parts and pieces, and now it's time to put it together. I'll scoot everything over so you can watch it play by play how I put it together. I did enjoy this one, first of all, so I'm going to put that around my December monthly, daily, weekly calendar. And then of course I have a Christmas card from my friend Jenny, so I just stuck that on the elastics. I think it's a cute addition to any planner. It fits perfectly, by the way, in my standard. Now it's time for the dashboards. I have to decide which one I'm going to pick. Sometimes I forget to take into account that when these are thicker, I need less dimension on the top so they slide in easier. So that is what I did. I just trimmed off the top. Perfect. Next, we go over here. Now it's my list. So I have my list and my back of my dashboard. We'll do that first since that's the easiest. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I wanted to put this pocket right here. I've got my last of my pockets. Gotta use them all. I'm gonna put a cover around here to get rid of the hearts. That looks good like that. And then my 2018, I think what I'm gonna do is put here. When I made this insert, I actually incidentally put this upside down, so it really doesn't matter to me. I just want to distract the eye a little bit as I flip through, and if it really bothers me, I can always attach this vellum on the inside and things will be perfect. But hey, my planner's not perfect and that is okay. Last thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this vellum around here. And there you go. Let's work on the pockets now. And so I zoomed out a little bit so you could get a better look, but I grabbed a whole bunch of things that I might be using, things I've also made behind the camera. We can start with this one. As you know, you remember how I made that one. I'm just going to slip that in here for the time being. I know it's my daily bookmark, but it works fine there. I did make a little countdown to Christmas using some of those Annie Plans printables, little extras she's got in the kit. We'll stick that there. Now I can start working on some of the pockets. These extra pieces of paper, since they're blank on the back, make a great grab to do a to-do list if you can't get to your sticky notes. I made this for the pocket. Again, do you remember I used the pinking shears? I like this. It fits perfect right here. I grabbed this little gold foiled thing I had from my stash. This little cute freckled fun thing, and this thing from Ellie Edwards. It's just a tag. I can always add it to gifts if I need to. And then I've got this acrylic Fa La La that I've always enjoyed from Color Cast Designs. And so I will go ahead and use a little clip to attach it to my planner. I think this will be fun addition for the exterior and the interior of my planner. And there you have it. Once I get off the air with you guys, I'm going to go ahead and work on those tabs and get them refreshed. The awesome part about it is that I have these from last month, these November ones, and they match perfectly, so I don't even have to replace those. Awesome. All right, guys, thanks so much for stopping. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.